A global pandemic is absolutely the right time to work with nature as an occupational therapist. My name is Bronwyn Painter. I'm the Nature OT in Adelaide, South Australia, and I help OTs working in all areas of practice around the world to include more nature in your life and your work and create nature-based OT programs, services and businesses. In this video, I'm going to share with you my 3 reasons why I think it's important to work with nature at this time during a global pandemic. The first reason is that as occupational therapists, we help people navigate everyday life. During this period of the pandemic, which we're now entering the 3rd year, everyone's lives have been impacted by COVID in some way. Everyone's lives have been impacted in terms of the ability to engage in employment, education, childcare, meet our daily needs, go shopping, connect socially with people. So everyone is impacted, and change is stressful for people. Change and not being able to plan and control and make decisions in our own lives is stressful for people. We also, as occupational therapists, typically work with people who are more disadvantaged, whose lives are impacted by injury, illness, disability, disadvantage. And so our typical clients are more impacted by the imposed changes of the pandemic. They're often more at risk, they're often requiring more supports, and it is more stressful for them. And so nature-based services or nature-based interventions can be a way to really help people manage that stress. Which is my second reason, which is that nature connection is an evidence-based, simple, effective, accessible way to help people reduce stress. The evidence around how nature, impacts our stress response is convincing. It's irrefutable, really. And so nature-based interventions are evidence-based for helping people manage that everyday stress. The evidence tells us that time in nature and connecting with nature, even if it's not outside, reduces depression, anxiety, reduces rumination, improves mood, improves emotional regulation, improves a sense of being alive, gives a sense of purpose and meaning, which, we know all about how important that is. The third reason that I think, as OTs, we can work with people in nature at this time is that we often have the ability to work with people in their context. Maybe you get to see people at home, maybe you get to see people in the community, maybe you can see people in nature. So we have the ability to work with the person, their environment, including nature, and their occupation, which can be nature-based. So during the pandemic, there are ways to connect people with nature, even during lockdown, even if we can't get outside. So, as OTs, we're pragmatic and we're innovative. And so there are OTs doing all sorts of really interesting things, connecting people with nature even indoors, bringing nature in, orienting views out of windows, actually opening curtains, connecting with fresh air, connecting with virtual nature. There's evidence to support that. And so there are many ways that we as OTs can help people connect with nature, knowing that it's evidence-based, that it helps reduce the stress response, and that it can provide meaning and purpose for people in their everyday when many things seem out of control and changed. So if you're wondering what you can do to help your clients in an evidence-based way, then I highly encourage you to consider nature-based interventions to include assessing their connection with nature in your in your OT service. If you have ideas or questions about what you could be doing in your context, I would love you to share that. To comment below, share what you're doing or thinking, or questions that you might have, and let's keep this conversation going about how really all OTs in all areas of practice can and I think should be considering where nature is in their practice. So take care and connect with nature for your own well-being also.